Conor McGregor speculation, day 3. Now, I've got to tell you from that standpoint, I don't have inside scoop on Conor. I'm not even going to try to get it. I'm not going to call people that I know that are in his inner circle. Conor has an issue and he also has resolution. In all fairness, we're done here. Conor does not ever need to speak about this. And by the way, that's probably for the best. The one thing that the audience hates, the one thing that the audience is looking for a reason to then hate, is just to catch you in a lie. And the cover-up is always worse than the crime. There's not very many things that Conor could say on this issue. Or to even go, hey, wait, hold on. Let's start at the beginning. Here's what happened. It doesn't work. And to those that believe in you, no explanation is needed. And to those that are detractors from you, there's no explanation that will satisfy. But we do have day 3 of speculation. Now, I do not attempt to condescend to you, but I am an expert. I am an absolute expert, not only in the rules, but in the procedural, disciplinary functions of those rules. And perhaps for all of the wrong reasons, but an expert nonetheless. I just want to try to break this down. I remember where I was. I was getting in a car in Sao Paulo, Brazil, with President Misha and my partner Ryan. I was on a boxing match with Anderson Silva, and the date was June 13th, and the announcement was made that McGregor-Chandler was off. Ryan had his camera, and we actually brought you guys a video from that car. And I had contended and maintained for you at that point that the announcement of the cancellation of McGregor versus Chandler was paramount to the announcement of the end of Conor's competitive career. I told you guys that we won't revisit this. He will not fight again. And this is prior to having any information, including the infamous discolored pinky toe. So I want to just share with you a couple of the nuances to the rules that I'm quite confident you don't know if you were on suspension. Now, this has never actually been tested. There is not an actual example where I could go, if you were on suspension, like so-and-so. It's never actually been tested, and there's a lot of rules that we believe just in society, whether it's the police or your teachers at school or your parents at home, whoever's enforcing certain rules on you, there's a number of rules that because there's never been an action taken, we therefore decide it's not really a rule. And for the most part, you would be right. If there's no consequence to an action, it's very tough to then say that that action is prohibited. However, to share with you, if you are on a suspension, you are not allowed to train. What does that mean? What does that mean, and how are you possibly going to stop somebody? Somebody has the rights. What's the difference in exercise and training? What's the difference in a workout and right? I mean, you understand where this gets a little bit silly, but allow me to answer it. If you are doing what gets deemed a training session, that coach could then have his license pulled. That coach, per the rule, which, by the way, is extremely clearly and simply written, that coach, if he is licensed by an athletic commission, and they all, under the ABC, they all recognize what one says, they all do. What California says, New York will adhere to. I'm just sharing with you. That coach could have his license pulled, which could cost him his career. If you are doing a workout, the person that is working out with you can be suspended. per the rule. Very clear. Very, very clear and very simply written. This never got tested, but there was a threat. And it was Chris Cyborg, and I believe in California, but there was a threat because some training video had emerged, and so somebody pointed out, hey, you're not allowed to do that. Now, the reason I say it is the rumors and reports, right? And we're just speculating. We're day 3 and we're speculating over here. But the rumors and the reports on Conor is that he has not been getting consistent work in. To believe that would be as simple as going to his Instagram page, where he is not even consistently in his home city or his home country, let alone able to get the SBG gym. So, for a meaningful period of time, though, this has been a great concern out of his camp, where they'll whisper to you, say, hey, don't say it, don't mention that I told you this, but, and it was either the inconsistency of preparation by Conor, or even the workouts that he was choosing to do and the workout partners that he were choosing to do this with. Now, Conor, we should not forget, is coming off the most gruesome injury in UFC history. There's 4 athletes that have had the exact same injury, but those 4 athletes are tied for the most gruesome injury. That's a very hard thing to come back from. To come back at all from that and to step into a 5-round atmosphere, which is what a main event like Conor would do. Like the ask is insurmountable as it is. It truly is. As much as you want to believe, you're selling yourself a bill of goods. To be able to go into a 5-round environment hedges on being irresponsible. It hedges on that. The opportunity to win, should you go all 5 rounds, if you were to ask any odds maker, would be as close to 0 as combative sports have ever seen. They'll take your action. It won't be 0. My own partners over at DraftKings, they'll take some action. They'll draw a line. But you could easily get 10,000 to 1 on that, realistically. If it was to go the distance that the injured athlete, in this case, Conor McGregor, is going to gain favor under a 10-9 must system, it would be 10,000 to 1 is a very realistic guess by me. All right. Now, what I want to share with you, you're coming off this injury. Very hard to come back from. But he's going to do it. The great Conor McGregor is going to do it. He's done a number of other things that nobody else could have done. So the door's open. But the years go by. And we as human beings just don't get better with time, sadly. There's a point in a young man's life where he will, and it's called puberty, where just with time, you wake up one day and you're a little better and stronger, but that's the only time you get. Everything, it just starts going down in large part from there. So I now just want to paint this picture for you and add the caveat that until March of next year, he is not, per the rules, and I understand this is not a rule that's ever been tested, but per the rules, he's not even allowed to train. He's not even allowed to go into the gym. This is the big hard thing about coming off of an injury, in case you haven't tied these together. It's not necessarily that you regress as an athlete. It's not necessarily that mentally you're not as tough and focused as you once were. You're not able to practice. You have an injury, your leg is snapped, you're not able to go into the practice. Now, once you're able-bodied and you can go to practice, now it still requires a mental toughness to actually do it. This is before you get into fact, all the different businesses, all the different distractions. This is before you bring partying, cocaine, and lawsuits into the whole thing. Like, just for a clear mind, able-bodied, driven person to every day go into that gym where the only promise that they get is they're going to be punched and kicked before they get to go home. It's a tough thing to do. You're now adding a caveat. I don't know how old Conor is, but I know he's closer to 40 than he is 30. I know he's closer to 50 than he is 20. I think he sits around 36. But now you're talking about another year, and you're talking about, okay, he's 37 now, I'm being told by Ryan. So let's just add this other year to March. Let's just guess that his birthday comes up between it. Now you're talking about 38. And the the odds and the chances of a comeback at that age, I mean, these are just extremely rare things. So I'm going to stand by my statement. I'm going to stand by the statement that I made in the car in Brazil and brought to you on June 13th of last year. The day that Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler was announced to be canceled was paramount to the day of the announcement of the retirement of Conor McGregor.